Hello, 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 and welcome to Redefining the Significance of You Time for you, by you, because of you. I'm just grabbing. I should have had everything ready. There we go. My name is Denise Drinkwalter, and I am a midlife renewal coach supporting women worldwide to lean into and realize the importance of you. This channel aims to provide you, the viewer, with some takeaways that will help you shift, change, reevaluate, and or become way more aware of what is possible for you. We have a variety of guests sharing their life experiences that have helped them become the incredible human beings that they are today. Every one of us has had that infamous free time sometime in our lives where we felt guilty, embarrassed, maybe even wrong for taking out time for ourselves. We are here to change that and support you to see what is possible when you take the time for you, by you, because of you. Today, I do not have a special guest. I am the special guest, I guess you could say. And unfortunately, my 7 p.m., we've rescheduled her because she has come down with an illness. So you will see her on our show, Reverend Christine Davies, on April 8th. So I knew that I wanted to come on and talk with all of you today because what's coming through for me is the impact of stress. And what is stress in our lives? How do we recognize that we have stress going on? When can we glide on through the stress levels? And when do we need to address it? So, first off, I want to share that my experience and knowledge witnessing and supporting people, as well as my own stress levels, as well as when I watch the littles. Stress levels vary from person to person, from situation to situation. And sometimes we don't even recognize the depth of stress that our body is experiencing. If you know what happens when you are extremely stressful, you are one step ahead of the curve. So you might experience stress and you know you might be a stress eater. You might know you might be a stress drinker. You might know that you are knowing that when you are stressed out, you take something, you ingest something to help you de-stress. Those components can be complex in and of its own right. However, if you recognize that that's something that you do, then the key there is to actually step back and recognize, how much do I do it? Take a look at the patterns that might be showing up for you when stress levels get higher and you're really trying to manage those stress indicators that are happening. To get ahead of the curve completely. Oh, another thing that I do know is that some people hide from the stress. So they avoid it, or they think they're avoiding it, by chilling out on TV. That's another thing that people do, is chill out on the TV, scroll through the phone, all that stuff, or go to bed. Cover your head and don't come out till it's morning. What is it? One of the nursery rhymes is rain, rain, go away. That can be another response to stress, is to just go to bed and I'll wake up in the morning and it'll all be gone. Or this is how I'm just going to deal with it right now. And in the moment, if you need to use those mechanisms to deal with it in the moment, make it happen. and it gets you through, perfect. The piece that I think is really important in all of this is seeing patterns of behavior when stressors are bigger. That's when they really rear their heads. When it's a stressful time in your life, when it's a stressful situation that you're dealing with, those are important to not always during the moments, because it's harder when you're in the thick of it to separate yourself and give yourself, reflection time and all that good stuff. That happens after the big moments, but it should happen because that's when we become more self-aware. That's when we become more knowledgeable about who we are, what stressors are impacting us, and how do we to respond to those stressors. How do we not resolve the stress, because stress happens. We are human beings. There are constant stressors every single day in our lives. But what can we do to make sure that those stressors don't impact us, A, long term, and B, intensely? So, ensuring that when we recognize the stressors in our lives, it could be situations, it could be environments, it could be people stress us. So, what we want to do is step back from it when it's subdued, when it's no longer in its heightened state, the stressors. Step back from it, step down, step away, and start taking a bird's eye view. What are the indicators that happen in your body when stress is present? What are the responses you automatically use when your body or your mind, your thoughts are being impacted by stressors? How do you respond? What is your first go-to? And number 3 is important too, because what we need to do is start to understand if we have key stressors, key pillars in our lives that are constant areas of stress. And that is a really important piece in this puzzle, because when we recognize where our big pillars are in terms of stress in our lives, that's when we get to figure out what action we want to take. We could put a car in the shop and tell the mechanic, it's my battery, fix my battery. But in actual fact, you have a problem with your brake system. So they go ahead, listen to you. You're sure, you think you know what it is. They're the expert, but you go ahead and you go, no, it's the battery. When in actual fact, they do the research and it's the brake. So if they change the battery out, your brakes are still going to be faulty. You have to take the analysis. You have to take the time to step back and actually discover where are big stressors, where are the big pillars of stress in your life. Is it environmental? Is it relationship? Is it financial? Is it like, what are the big stressors? And once you discover one area that always gives you that knot in your stomach or gives you that temple pain right off the bat as soon as you think about it, then start to weave in what you are going to do to take that to a new level and de-stress, not avoid, but unpack. Why are you so stressed about A, B, C, or D, right? Why is that such a big rock and not a good rock, a heavy rock? Why is that such a big rock for you? And then if you need to reach out and get help from somebody to uncover what you're going to do about this big pillar to help move it, to help carve it down so it doesn't impact your life. So what are you going to do? What supports are you going to put in place? A lot of this work is very hard to do on your own because you can't see the forest for the trees. You're too close to the situation. Doesn't mean you can't. Absolutely give it a try. But what happens is we can get stuck because the same rut that we're driving in just veers the car into that same rut. It's hard to get out of the ruts we are already in because we haven't done the work to remove ourselves wholeheartedly from the concept and the situation that we're trying to uncover and work through. So I know those are really big nuggets, and stress is a big, big factor in our health. And when you don't do this work for you, by you, because of you, we start holding in that negative energy and things can happen in our body that is not going to benefit us or anybody else in our sphere of influence or beyond. So start looking at what you do in response to stress. Start to notice if there are any patterns of behavior that exist. And you might already say, yeah, Denise, I already know what it is. I already know what it is. And that's great. You've got a starting point. Number two, you want to actually discover what are the big pillars in your life that are stress points for you. And three, what are you going to do to get some kind of support to help you peel back the layers of that onion so that you can start to address and rework? We are never too old to figure this out, and it doesn't have to be as daunting as you think it needs to be. We make this, our ego, our mind, makes this into, well, it's just easier to go to sleep, Denise. Thank you very much. I'll just go under the covers. That isn't benefiting you. That isn't benefiting anybody else. And I worry about you. That's why I'm talking about stressors today, because it's coming up more and more. Everything that I'm seeing on social media about stressors and everything that's out of our control. As soon as we believe that our lives are out of our own control, we have lost a huge part of who we are. And I don't want anybody to ever think that they cannot be in control of their own lives, no matter what the heck is going on around in the outside world. No matter how bad the situation is, you are worthy of stepping into your power. And I want you to experience that in ways you have never experienced that before in your life. My name is Denise Drinkwalter, and you can see I'm a midlife renewal coach. I have got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journal for a guided journal for empowered women, and it will help guide you in making sure that you take time for you, by you, because of you every single day. And as you do it, the guilt, the remorse, the embarrassment for taking out time for yourself will diminish and eventually disappear. And it can happen very quickly because you will see the impact of you giving back to yourself, how much of an influence that has for all of those around you. It's on Amazon, and the link is in the show notes below. I want to wish you an incredible day. Please share your thoughts. Please share your comments below. I would love to know what's coming up for you around stressors. Any questions you might have, any ahas you have, please share them in the show notes. People are starting to do that more and more. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do. And if this resonates with you, or you see any of the other conversations I've had with the copious amounts of beautiful people I've had on my show, please share. Let people know that this information is out there and they should take advantage of it because it's all for free. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.